Hello and welcome to Picture a Better Tomorrow, brought to you by Kanawha County Schools TV, Suddenlink Communications, and the United Way of Central West Virginia. You know, the United Way mission statement says that we will improve lives by mobilizing the caring power of our community. And one of the things that we do every year in this community and communities all over the country is mobilize by raising funds. We raise money from the community and we turn right around and we give away as much as we can to nonprofit organizations that are providing meeting needs and providing services to clients in need. So today we're going to talk about the current United Way campaign, and I'm joined by two pretty important folks in the campaign world. First, Guy Johnston, who works for City and National Bank but is also the volunteer campaign chairman for United Way of Central West Virginia. And Ron Grant, who is on the board of directors, a retired mining person, and from one of the most favorite places that I have in the world, Bob White, West Virginia, down in Boone County. So welcome to both you guys.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
So if I'm not mistaken, we're getting close to the end of the campaign for this particular cycle. So things should just be in great shape, right?
Well, I wish that was the case, John. We're nearing the end of this campaign cycle, March 31st, and we are pretty far behind our hope this year so far. So we've got a lot of work to do, a lot of people to reach out to, and so we're going to go full throttle here for the next several weeks and see if we can't make a dent.
So we hear a lot about employment levels. We hear a lot about changes in the economic environment that we all live in. We hear a lot about the state budget and some of the struggles that we have at the state level. Does that filter down to the United Way campaign in reality?
Well, sure. I mean, any time you're under strain economically, we all feel it. We see it every day. It impacts, and people are dealing with their own stuff, and it's harder when there are fewer people involved in giving. I think it's some version of the 80-20 rule. There's a core group that is consistently there and making a difference, and then others that we haven't been able to reach at this point, but we hope to.
Ron, in Boone County, we all know about the struggles in the mining industry and the related organizations that support the mining industry. What are you seeing in your area relative to the needs of individual families and residents?
Well, consequently, as the economy tanks, we'll say, the need rises at the same time. So, yeah, we have a lot of folks that need help, and jobs are really scarce right now. We've gone from, just in our county, from somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 active coal mines to less than 10. So jobs are really hard to come by. A lot of working people have left the county, and the majority of our residents now are retired folks or folks that are on some kind of financial support. So the need is really skyrocketing right now. We need some help.
So there's an inverse relationship then between economic decline and the rise of need from individuals that are affected by that economic decline. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, and we've got to rally. I mean, any time there's a bigger need and the economy's difficult, the needs go up, as you said, John, and it makes it harder. At least the perception is that it's harder to give. So we're going in opposite directions. Fundraising is challenging. Needs are going up, and we've got to do something about it.
So there are 25 or 30 agencies that are funded with community dollars through United Way each year. Those are located in Kanawha County and Putnam County and Boone County and throughout the footprint that the United Way of Central West Virginia serves. What happens to those agencies relative to community support when the funding levels decrease?
You get less support. There are people that will, unless we rally, that will be without assistance, and that can manifest itself in any number of ways. Who knows? In many cases, the United Way funding and its partner agencies are the only resort that some of these folks have. So the math is simple. if we don't raise the money that we hope to raise, then more people are going to be in bad shape.
So Ron, what's that look like in Boone County? What type of programs would suffer as a result of reduction in funding?
We have food pantries that help a lot of folks get through the month. Toward the end of the month, folks run a little short, and they can come to the food pantries and get some help. BCCO, which will help folks with power bills and such, the help's just not going to be there for them. We're going to see folks with their power turned off in the wintertime because there's no funds to help them maintain that.
So it seems like as the economy decreases or constricts or is struggling, it seems pretty logical that fundraising would also struggle. So, Guy, you keep talking about the rally. Is it realistic to even think that we can rally with the declines and the compression that we're seeing with the economy?
Well, I hope so, John. One of the things, and I've been in West Virginia now 4 years, and one of the things that I've noticed and talk often about in this role and also in my profession is when there's a need, people rally around it. The challenge, I think, sometimes is if it's not in the forefront, if there's not a thing you can touch or see or read about on the news, then it's hard for people to rally around it. And so my hope is that we can reach enough people and help them understand that there is a person behind the need, and there is a person behind every dollar that's going to be impacted one way or the other. So I would just tell you, if we get the more involvement we get, and I find that many times it's the folks that have the least that participate the most and are willing to give. So I would say that no donation is too small. You know, the United Way and its agencies have a way of turning a buck or two into 10 or 20 by leveraging resources. And so I think when I say rally, I just mean reaching as many people as possible, getting as many people involved as we possibly can.
So I would guess that there's a lot of people that just don't do anything, don't participate at all. Ron, you mentioned some of the folks that are faced with fixed incomes, et cetera. So there's some people that don't do anything. What about that group?
We do have a lot of folks, and not only individuals, but we have a lot of businesses out there that have multiple employees that don't help in any way. Those are the folks we need to get involved with this campaign. We need for them to realize that there is an ongoing need, a never-ending need, that we work constantly to help. A lot of folks gave during the flood that we had back in the summer, and they now feel that they've done their part. Well, that was a need. That was a need that's going to go away in a few years. This is a need that's going to be around from now on, and folks need to get involved. There is absolutely no place that you can send your donated dollars that will do more good than United Way. Our numbers last year were 60,000 of our West Virginian neighbors that were helped through supported agencies, United Way supported agencies. There's nowhere else in the state you can donate your money to help that many people.
So not only from the fundraising perspective, but also the fund distribution perspective, you guys both have participated in the fund allocation process. Citizen reviewers, you've gone to agencies, you've asked hard questions, you've made recommendations to the greater board of directors for funding. So what do you have to say to the people out there that say, well, I'm not sure what you're going to do with that money?
That's a fair question, and something that I had no idea about until I got involved. But I will tell you that the processes and people in place, from the site visits to sitting down and talking with people that are running these organizations, great organizations, by the way, that are doing everything they can to help people in our state. That's just the beginning. Then the process on figuring out and making sure that these dollars are being used as efficiently as possible is ongoing, and it's days and days of work, volunteers. I'm happy to do it, as I know Ron and others on the board and the committees are. But I just can't imagine that there's a more rigorous process to make sure that those dollars are being used appropriately. I know my personal donor dollars, I wouldn't give if I wasn't 100% sure that they're going to the best use possible. So I think the processes and the people are in place to make sure that happens, John.
So let's play a little Q&A here. So let me ask you a couple of questions, and you tell me whether or not this is a way that a viewer could actually support the community through United Way. Cash?
Absolutely.
Check.
Credit card.
Credit card? Stock? Could I donate stocks? Appreciated
Absolutely,
stocks? How about online? Can I give online?
Yes.
How about through my payroll? If I'm gainfully employed, could I give through my payroll?
Yes.
How about if I used my credit card to get air miles or points?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. So there's multiple ways. So there shouldn't be anybody that's viewing this show that would say, well, I can't figure out how to give.
Giving is simple. UnitedWayofCentralWestVirginia.org. Go on there and look around. If you have any doubts about United Way, go on there and look around. Everything we do is on there. The organizations we support, the staff. It's a wonderful place just to go look and check out a great charity.
So as we go forward and we look at hopefully a recovery from an economic perspective, we've got some big ideas in the governor's office. We've got some big ideas coming from Washington, and whether you're on that side or the other side from a political standpoint, if we can accomplish some big things, that would be probably very good for all of us, not just in West Virginia, but throughout the country. So what does that tell us about the future and about how the community can rally, as you say, Guy, from a perspective of going forward? What should people be thinking about related to their charitable giving and their community support?
Well, I mean, again, I think you can feel confident that the United Way is doing the right things with the dollars and being as efficient as possible. I would tell you that, for instance, I know there's statistics that would say, how many people we reached in certain counties and even by profession, and there's some of that information. I would ask people to understand that it's a neighbor, it's a friend, it's somebody that when they give, they're helping somebody that's in their community. The dollars are staying here locally. So I would leave them with that message that it's one thing to react to a thing that you can see and touch. It's another to to understand that your dollars, even when there doesn't appear to be a crisis going on, are really impactful and impact a lot of people.
So the group that doesn't do anything, they can't afford it, they don't want to. Do they have the capacity, in your all's opinion, do they have the capacity to give at a level that would be acceptable or beneficial to the community, even if it's a small amount?
Oh, absolutely. There are so many folks out there that have the opportunity and the ability to step up and help, that if everybody stepped up and gave just a little, it would make a significant impact on the amount of money that we're able to put into these organizations to support the folks that need it. I cannot stress enough how important it is that people step up and help and do their share to stem this ever-growing need that we have.
So, Guy, you mentioned that we're behind in the campaign. What's the shortfall right now?
That's $300,000 or so, which is a tall order, it would seem, but I feel like if we can get the local businesses involved, whether that's a corporate donation or whether that's a workplace campaign, which we at City participate in, match dollar for dollar, it's a great way to make a difference. And for all the individuals, as Ron said, a buck or two, a paycheck, $20 here or there is meaningful, and my hope is that we can reach our goal this year.
So I can give online at UnitedWayCWV.org. I could call the United Way office at